we've got this part here, which, oh, it slides. Look at that. That's what that does. It's got a little sliding function for Megazord mode and for tank mode. Very, very nice indeed.
Alpha, the Falcon is back. Prepare for him a hard work with attitude.
Hello, welcome to the next episode of Build the Megazord, where we are looking at issue 60 this time, continuing with the T-Rex Zord, of course, and we are halfway there. Issue 60 out of 120, we are halfway through the Megazord build, and we have done so much already. And as you can see in this issue, we've got a cacophony of pieces to go towards this T-Rex. There's a lot to get on this week, and last week was a bit quieter, next week was a bit quieter, but forget about that. Let's just crack on with the parts we get in issue 60. I'm just going to move a lot of these out of the way just for the moment, and we are starting off with this piece here, which is some of the interior workings of the T-Rex hip. And this piece is going to be going inside this piece here, which is the outer hip of the T-Rex, as you can see there. And what we just need to do is screw it down. I'm not going to speed it up just for this one because it's only 2 screws, and we're getting started on this issue. So yeah, very excited to be halfway through this build. I can't believe that we've got another 60 weeks to go, but if you think about it, that's just essentially a year, just over a year, maybe a little bit longer if you count for delays and stuff like that, bank holidays, stuff like that. And if you can hear noise in the background, that's the bin men coming to collect my bins. So there we go. I am filming this on a bank holiday a few weeks ago now, probably about a month ago. So yeah, that's why. Okay, that part is in there. It's a little bit loose actually, so let me just tighten this up. And there we go. That is now nice and secure, not wobbling, and I also left it a bit of time for the bin men to go past the house, so hopefully it's not as noisy anymore. But yeah, this is the first part of issue 60 all done. We now need to attach it to the main bulk of the T-Rex. Now, one thing that I did last week, and I should have paid more attention to, and I'm just bringing it out now because it is pertinent, is I put this join in at an angle. If you see there, if you see there, it's at a slight angle, and I just need to make sure that that is as straight into that socket as it can be, because it'll make this part a lot easier because we are attaching it into this hole here. So swing this back around to the front. Oh, that is actually still at an angle. Make sure that is straight dead on there, and then we line it up and we just plop it in there like that. It's a really nice fit actually. There we go, it's in there like that, looking great. And then that part, of course, will turn like that, like I struggled to do last week, but it's much easier to do when you've got some kind of lever to do so. So just flipping it around, and we've got the back of it here. We just need to get this metal part that we looked at last week, and we there's a big old hole here. We just place that part in there, and then that part will swivel in and out to allow the transformation of this T-Rex into Megazord mode. But yeah, that just sits in there very nicely, looking like that. Now, just before we put the back on this hip, we just need to make another part, which involves this part here, this part here, this part here, which came on sprues. And what we need to do is we just get that part there. And in fact, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I'll zoom out a bit. There we go. And just pop that little washer part in there, and then we get this part and we just line it up on there like that, and then we just screw it in. Okay, right, so there is, if you can see, a very, very slight little hole. There's the hole, and then there's like a little groove there, like a little key lock, you can see there. And then this part here has a little so small. Let's catch the light. There you go. It's got a little peg there. See that little peg? So actually you need to make sure that these pieces are aligned so that they sit in place, and then it is much easier for you to screw it in. So that is such a small little detail, but it's great because it makes the build that ever so slightly bit easier when you know it's there and you're not faffing around with it. Not realising it's there, but again that's the curse of having the instructions in French and me not being able to speak French. And there we go. When it's all aligned, it's still a little small and fiddly, but when it's all aligned, that part will screw in there like that, as tight as it can go. And there we have that part in there like that, ready to be added to the bottom of this T-Rex. So let me just make sure I get the angle right. So we want, it's not fully centered as you can see, we want it so it's on the right and then placed in there like that. And you know, feet and lots of things I think are going to be attached to that part. Maybe they're not, because it is so small. I'm not entirely sure what this part will do, but I'm sure it's over function at a later date. So just pop that in there and that is good to go. The next part we grab is this black part here, again more interior. Let me just zoom out a bit so you can actually see it. And we line everything up like so, making sure that the hole goes over that part there, making sure that everything else sits in, which it doesn't seem to be doing at the moment. Oh, just push that whole socket part out. So that part lines up like that part lines up like that. Okay, and when that's all aligned, you screw it in. There's 3 screw holes here, which I'm just going to go ahead and do now. There we go, that's that part all screwed in. And just for awareness, that when you get this black part in place, it does a very nice satisfying click before you screw it down. So just wait for that click, everything will align, all the seams will line up, and that's when you know that that part is good to be screwed in. But the screwing fun doesn't end there. We've got a couple more pieces to screw in before this issue is done. The next one is this part here, which is the remaining up part of this hip. And again, it just slides in place. Make sure that it's all seamless at the bottom there. You can see. That's really hard to turn. There we go. There we go. So it's all seamless there like that. And then we just screw this in at the back. Like so. And it leaves 2 kind of little pegs as well as the screw holes. And with these little pegs, we're going to be sealing it all off with this lovely piece of silver detailing here. I really like the lines on it, like that, and the little pistons there. And I also love these 3 little circular parts here at the top. So it's just lovely. There's a little gap in it because we've got this red piece of detailing that just pops in there like that. Oh, looking great. And yeah, the circle parts are at the top. Everything else should align okay. And then we just push it in there like that. Again, you can use super glue if you want, but it is designed to be a tight fit and it fits in there like that. So that is the back of the hip all done, and that is the front of the hip all done. And if I just zoom out just a little bit, you get to see the T-Rex there with his hip being in place. Now this part you technically shouldn't do till next week because it's not in the instructions, but I am going to do it now because otherwise I'll lose it. It's adding this lovely detailing here, looking very, very nice. And again, it's just a pop in like that. You can use super glue if you want, because I mean you can push it out again, but it is quite tight to do. Just pop it in there and you've got that lovely, lovely detailing at the bottom half there of the T-Rex, looking great. And this part just swivel forward like that, quite a long way. That's mainly for the tank mode and stuff like that. But it does swivel back like that. So you will be able to have a T-Rex with very functional hips. Okay, so the final thing that we are doing this week, let's flip it back around and let's start it all again. We just have this piece here, which just slots on there and then you screw that in place, and we get ready to start with the hip all over again next week. I'm going to do this off camera and before next week to save some time, but yeah, that part goes on there, screws on there, and then we also get this part in issue 60, which also next week as well we will attach, but that goes over there like that. So the bottom of the hip there, that goes over there. And actually, is there any reason why we can't do this now? Let me just consult. Nope, no reason whatsoever. Okay, let's finish this off properly by doing this final piece here, which again, it's no screws, it just pushes in. You can use super glue if you want, but it's very tight and you've got some clicking in place when you get it done. Oh no, I've done mine slightly at an angle. Okay, let's prise this out and start again. Okay, prized off, let's start again. Let's make sure it's all there, it's all flat. It's this side is not wanting to go in. There we go. All clipped in place there, looking like that. So now we do have that little silver accentuated part on the hip there that just seals off the hip really, really nicely. We've got this part here, which, oh, it slides. Look at that. That's what that does. It's got a little sliding function for Megazord mode and for tank mode. Very, very nice indeed. The rest of the foot's going to be attached to this though. That is quite a lot for one foot to be attached to, but you know, I trust this build, I trust it so far, so let's see how that pans out. But yeah, we've got the hip there, we've got the lovely detailing part over here, we've got the very nice detailing part on the back, and that is this issue all done. Screw that on and you're good to go for next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this week. I've really enjoyed it. It's nice to have a part finalised. I like videos where you finalise a part. It's not going to be the case next week, but this week we finalise that hip, which is lovely. So next week is going to be even shorter now because we've done two parts that were meant for this week, but I hope you join me for then. But I still hope you'll join me for that. I hope you're enjoying this series. Please leave a like if you are. Please comment down below. And also I do have a Patreon if you are if you're enjoying this channel, want to throw some money my way. It does help with the buying of parts. Like everyone at the moment, everything's a bit tight. But yeah, that's only if you want to. I'll be very, very appreciative. And if some people get on the Patreon, I'll start doing the exclusive content. Let me know what you want to see for that, because I can start doing that, no problem. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling and let you get on with your lives, but I'll see you back here next week for the next part of this Megazord build. So until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.